and it looks like we're off. So just a compass and a big 20 in Link's House and Sanctuary.
Yeah, pretty interesting right divergence here. I wonder if KillerApp's going to be doing Houlihan right away. Looks like he will be.
Yeah, I like that doing the Houlihan at the beginning. It's starting to be very popular in this tournament.
Yeah, especially in Keysanity, where you know, the drop pools mostly keys. Like a lot of stuff gets pushed out. Finding early bombs can be very difficult, or even early money. So doing this can get you a nice advantage.
Yeah, and the uncle has a key to Castle Tower, so maybe we're gonna see that Aga play after all today.
Maybe. I mean, I guess that's where he's headed, right? Like in the normal game, heading to the castle to rescue Zelda.
Yeah. Only this time it's Zelda running around.
Well, that's a good point. Alright, KillerApp making all the value plays. He's heading down here to the south side of the map to farm some bombs, I imagine.
Yeah, and it makes sense if you farm those early rupees to buy bombs. It's better to go into the left side, the south side, so you can just go by the shop right away.
That is very true, and he does grab one. This is going to let him get the race game item. If he chooses to get it. High chance he will, if it's something valuable.
Only a big 20, and speaking of big 20s, it looks like the crab hoarders have big 20s as well. That's a good way to farm money.
Oh, definitely, that's really, really good. Well, just a compass in the Lumberjack Cave, it seems. If we do Aga, it won't be for that. Chances are.
Yeah, the compasses are not items that our runners are gonna need today.
Goodness, he got so much money from that one crab.
Oh, and the moon pearl in the forest, and the hammer in the chicken hut. So it's only a glove upgrade away from Dark World.
Yeah, that might spell the end for the Aga Dream before even 10 minutes if we find that glove soon. Bottlewinter sprinting to scam today.
Yeah, at least he got a little bit of a refund from that.
It's definitely not the worst scam I've seen him pull.
So KillerApp going into the well of Kakariko, finding a map for Feast Town, a compass for Hera. That's not important. 50 rupees, that's a little bit better, and just a heart container. But oh, lunchtime finding the glove. So we have Dark World access even before 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is actually the second race I've commentated where that's been the case. That's always really interesting because it leads runners to do some interesting things sometimes. Like if lunchtime wanted, he could go into a village rec house right now. I think it'd be crazy, but you never know.
Yeah, it would definitely be an interesting play, but a little bit dangerous as well. Only 3 hearts, green mail.
Yeah, Dark World is super dangerous. Lots of enemies will do 2 hearts of damage while you're in green mail, so not a lot of safety there.
So except for the Dark World access, Kakariko didn't have too much else.
mean, it had hammer. Hammer's nice. So you see, they went in Kakariko different ways, then they're leaving the opposite ways, pretty much.
Yeah, Lunchtime picked up his Moon Pearl at the same time as KillerApp picked up the hammer, and now they're doing the reverse. So it looks like KillerApp might go for the back of Escape with that glove upgrade.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty standard play, because checking these items is so fast. It's, like, you saw he just came out of the Sanctuary, now he's already diving down there, so... It's 3 whole items, too. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's also... let's see, it's... Okay, just a mushroom, but... That could be important. They're also starting to pick up some maps, and the maps can give them information on what dungeons are crystals.
Of course, in Keysanity, that information is hidden from you, no matter how you would try to glean it without the map. The BGM is randomized in the dungeon, and the icons don't actually show up on the map until you get the map. So that's a neat way of making an item that's usually useless in Randomizer actually pretty useful.
So in the dam we have 50 rupees. Let's see what we have. The sunken treasure as well.
I bet it's a key. A small key.
That seems like pretty good odds for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's a pretty useful key as well.
The Thieves' Town small key. The only one of its kind. Well, as far as item location drops, anyway.
Yeah, and they're both electing to go to the south shore of Hyrule, and that makes sense. There's a lot of items down here.
Yeah, clearing out these Sphere Zero spots is usually a pretty good idea. If not just for any other reason than if your opponent does it and you don't, and there's something really good here, like the flute, you fall behind. So that's a really good item to find here, and he just saves and quits right away.
Yeah, the flute is a really good pickup, and it's probably just gonna go activate it right away, and maybe go back to the south shore and just go do that ice rod cave. Lunchtime, unfortunately, took a death, but probably just gonna shake it off and go back down to the south shore.
Yeah, most likely. Did he get crabbed?
Yeah, it looked like the crab got him.
Those crabs, man. 2 hearts of damage. It's insanity.
Yeah, the South Shore is kind of like the Dark World early on.
And even the ground even looks like the Dark World. That's how you know it's serious business. And the other thing that Salute's going to be really good for is turning in that mushroom right away, if they want to.
Yeah, and it looks like KillerApp doing it right away. It just make everything so much easier to get access in the light world.
Absolutely. And you don't want to forget about that mushroom either. If you get powder, it's going to hide behind it. You're going to forget about it. Not much reward for it today, sadly. Ah,
Oh, and it looks like KillerApp is going into the dark world.
I do like this. Hype Cave is 5 items.
And we saw that the Tower of Hera is a red pendant. And Skullwoods and Thiefstones are crystals. Crystal 1 and 4, I think. It's always nice when you get early maps and
Yo.
you can check them and it's not the red crystals
Yo.
or oh
No!
wow, this is really a hype cave today.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but Hype Cave actually living up to its name today.
Yeah, first sword, fire rod and bow. That's a really good hype cave.
Goodness gracious. Ah, he's coming up here to check the 5 and 6 crystals. And buy bombs. How efficient.
So desert and eastern. That's interesting.
Well, you have to think. KillerApp's probably going to go to Eastern ASAP, like, now that he has that bow.
He still need a big key though, so he might actually avoid it for a while.
That is very true.
So with Eastern and Desert Palace being the 5-6 crystals, they basically almost just need the big keys for those 2 dungeons in order to be able to check Fat Fairy. They also need an entrance into the desert, so they would need the book or another glove upgrade and the mirror. But it's 2 pretty easy dungeons to have requirements to finish.
I feel like Skullwoods is calling right now. Just finding that fire rod and the sword right next to each other.
Yeah, that would make sense. You can check everything except for the big chest.
I believe they got the big key to Skullwoods, so...
Oh, okay.
And we see a big
Then-
key on the lake ledge.
And lunchtime is picking up the blue mail from Sahasrala's hut. That's gonna be useful when going into the dark world. But it looks like KillerApp is going there as well. So the green pendant today is Mr. Meyer. That's interesting.
Yeah, getting a lot of good information. I like how Sonic just gets like more blue when you get the blue mail. Makes it
Never.
impossible to tell.
Yeah, I actually never thought about it. I didn't think there was a big difference. So we're seeing a little bit of a sequence break here from KillerApp checking the old man in Death Mountain.
Yeah, this is interesting because there's not a ton he can actually get up here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, so we saw him go to Sahasrala, but not going into Eastern. Most likely because he does have that bow and don't want to double dip it. So there were only a couple of bombs from the old man, but the item in Spectacle Rock here will be in Logic because they do have the flute.
This is quite correct. Small key on the top, and okay.
Oh, and it's Red Cane, the Cane of Samaria in Spectacle Rock.
That's a good item in Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, that's really good. We won't really progress them right now, but they will probably need it later.
One thing to KillerApp's demerit, though, is that since he already turned in that mushroom, he can't actually do the fake powder glitch, which isn't really necessary or anything, but sometimes it can be really, really nice to do.
So Eastern not having too much value. The small key to Hera, however, that could that's one of those small keys that could troll you. So that's good to have out of the way.
Yeah, it is. You never want to go there to complete it and then not be able to check the basement, because that will always eat at your mind as you're hunting for something. Looks like he's heading to Darkworld now. Feels well prepared. Got his blue mail.
Yeah, and we know that going to Hype Cave before going to Village of Outcast and Skullwoods will pay off big.
Yep, lunchtime making the same little detour here. Which is something I support. If you have early Darkworld access, and you can actually get to that cave right away, checking the south side of Darkworld can pay off in a lot of ways before actually doing like Thieves Town and such.
Yeah, that makes sense. And KillerApp is going straight into Thieves Town.
Quite a few chests laying out here for the taking.
Yeah, and I don't blame him going into Village of Outcast before going into the Skullwoods, because even though they have everything they need to finish Skullwoods, it's never fun to fight Mothula with the fight sword, and does get the Master Sword, so that fight will definitely be easier now.
Yeah, just as you said. A little bit better prepared if he finds Potion here. That'll also be really good for him. Because Mothula is just one of those fights. One of the most unpredictable bosses in the game, just simply because of that arena.
Yeah, and also the mail upgrade doesn't really help them too much in the fight against Mothula, unless they face tanking.
Spikes always will do 1 heart of damage, doesn't matter what clothes you're wearing. Got a death warp out of here, it looks like, now that he's done. So was well worth coming here. He got $300 and a new sword.
Yeah, and still has the Sea House and the Bombable Hut left to check. And it looks like lunchtime is going for the escape, the front of escape. We haven't seen that so far.
Yeah, this is another good play. As soon as you have a weapon that's reliable, like the hammer or a sword, coming in here and clearing out these chests can be really, really good.
So KillerApp is making the play on Skullwoods, and I think there with that big kid, there's a total of 7 items in there. So that's pretty likely that he's gonna find something to progress in.
Most likely, definitely feels like the seed is pushing them that way with that early sword and the fire rod, of course.
Yeah, and in worst case scenario, they do know that it's a crystal, so that's something they're gonna have to do sooner or later. Oh, the mirror, that's pretty big.
That's a pretty good item.
That gives them access to everything in East of Mountain in the Light World.
Yep,
And
access to Hera.
also, yeah, Hera as well.
The single rupee much less exciting than the mirror, sadly.
So the silver arrows in Zelda's chest. So early
Okay.
bow and silvers. That's interesting.
That is really a really nice find for lunchtime. The earlier you find the silver arrows, the more impact they have on everything. Not just for bosses, but they can also one-shot early annoying enemies like the Gibdos.
Yeah, for sure. And with that mirror they picked up, or KillerApp picked up, makes me wonder a little bit about that small key of Hera in Eastern.
Does make you think. That is a fire source that they got with a fire rod as well, so something good could definitely be in the basement there. Would not blame them at all for heading up that way after they get done with Skullwoods.
Yeah, and it's just one single chest, so but we've seen that a lot of times in this tournament, that one single chest that could definitely be important.
And now Sonic goes Super Saiyan. Welcome to the future.
Yeah. Yeah, red mail early. That's really nice. You don't have to worry about the hearts too much.
Yeah, that's a really nice comfort, especially when you're walking to fight Mothula. Doesn't help you with the spikes, but
Yeah, you could actually elect to face tank Mothula now, because Mothula with red mail will only damage you half a heart.
lunchtime in the meanwhile. Heading into Thieves Town as well.
Yeah, and we know that that is going to pay off for him, at least in form of a sword upgrade.
I believe you just grabbed that.
KillerApp making the long way around in that room to be able to pick up some magic.
Yeah, you want to get every advantage you can get.
Getting a full magic drop on one of the Gibdas as well.
That's really good. Fire Rod is very useful for Mothula, simply because it's a ranged weapon. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, going with the spin strats on Mothula makes sense. One spins with the Master Sword is like a tempered hit, so Mothula going down quickly.
Really well done. Another thing spins really enable you to do is it gives you more leeway for your strikes because spins last so long. And it also slows you down so you can have a bit of a easier time moving around. which can be important in that arena.
Yeah, for sure. So lunchtime going to check Bumper Cave, and it's just a small little shield.
Yeah, I don't expect to be getting that anytime soon, but it's good to keep in mind where you see shields if you see them.
Yeah, and it's also just nice to have that location out of the way so you know if you have to come back or not.
Very true as well. Lunchtime heading into Skullwoods now, right after KillerApp finishes, though lunchtime isn't really behind at all. They opted to check a few things that KillerApp didn't, so...
Yeah, I'm guessing that KillerApp is going to check escape sooner or later, so probably won't hurt lunchtime too much, and lunchtime did actually get silvers in escape, so that's good.
That is the second key to Ice Palace. We found the big key, I believe, and I think there's only 2 small keys to Ice Palace.
Yeah, there's just 2 small keys to find in 2 Ice Palace.
Not really necessary for runners on this level, but it does make your routing a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, you want to pick up at least 1 to make your routing in Ice Palace a little bit easier.
Okay, well, KillerApp does not have this Tower of Hera small key, so that's all you can do.
Yeah, but at least have 7 more chests on the east side to check.
This is my favorite area in the game, just because of how many boxes there are in such a small location.
Yeah, and the Minimoldorm Cave has... I mean, the Paradox Cave has a lot to live up to if they want to be better than Hype Cave today.
Lunchtime unfortunately got grabbed. It gets moved about 3 feet to his left. Since he didn't opt to make the early Death Mountain climb, he doesn't actually have the red cane to make that room easier. Oh, he gets grabbed again!
Yeah, that hand is so annoying.
All masters are jerks, man.
Not getting grabbed this time at least, so get that red mail. And KillerApp is in the Paradox Cave now, finding a small key for pod and 10 arrow upgrade.
We've got the second or third pod key.
Yeah, I think it's the third.
That is something to keep in mind as well, this bow. Does open up some areas in Dark Palace as well.
Yeah, it gives you access to 2 more chests, and you can also use it as a small key. And wow, the big key to Feasttown and the hookshot. That's big.
Well, hello there.
So it seems to be a pretty linear seed so far.
A little bit. It has been opening up a little bit more. Once we find those Titansmiths, though, the world is a wide and open place. KillerApp opting to use that big key now.
Yeah.
Oh, how is that guard there? That makes no sense to me. It's a tiny flower, and there's this big bull garden there. Just taking a nap in the flowers.
I guess.
The worst is when you have the green guards in the like ankle high grass.
Oh yeah, and yeah, they're stuffy. They have that green mail for a reason.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, lunchtime. Coming to fight Mothula now.
Yeah, going for the hammer strats. That's also an interesting and
Wow.
wow, just taking 4 hits straight away.
Yeah, nailed it. I apologize for nothing.
Yeah, so KillerApp in Thieves Town now. It's really nice to have that small key because you don't want to leave that big chest behind.
Alright, well, that ties things up. Crystal-wise. Looks like lunchtime's gonna be doing the same thing that KillerApp did.
Yeah, and it definitely makes sense. They're going for the highest density of chests, and that's usually a pretty good play in Keysanity. So big chest in Thieves Town, what do you have for us? Ooh, it's
What?
the Vanilla
What?
Titansmith.
What? What? It's not possible.
That is true vanilla.
That is... Yes. Okay, then.
And that is why you want to have the small key when you go into Thieves Town.
I was so sure it was gonna be junk, but no. Alright, well that opens up quite a few areas for them actually. Deserts now. You can get inside.
Yeah. It opens up pretty much everything in the overworld. A few dungeons as well. Or actually, technically, it doesn't open up any dungeon except for the Desert Palace, because they don't have any medallions or flippers yet.
It'll be interesting to see what he opts to do. He could come down here, grab the frog, and do all that stuff while he's here. Could go straight to Desert Palace. Could fake Flipper to Ice Palace, because everybody loves Ice Palace. Can't wait to get in there, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we have in the basement here now, Tower of Hera.
Lunchtime did get that key. I think this is outside the logic, based on where that was, because I believe it was Lamp Lock, but who knows? Lamp could be anywhere.
Yeah, basically what that tells us is that we're not gonna find a lamp down here. And lunchtime might be taking that lunch break right now.
It's a good room for it. Good 30, 45 seconds of nothing. Plenty of time to stuff your face with the sandwich.
The Smith is making a boomerang for KillerApp.
He completes his set of 2, so he's good to go. Constable Lemon, he could fake powder it here if he had the mushroom. You actually already turned that in, which is unfortunate. That would be a really good little thing to sneak in as well, but
Yeah, for sure. And basement in Hera only having a piece of heart, so KillerApp didn't miss anything there.
yeah, he hasn't been missing anything thus far. Oh wait, we didn't find the big key dice plus. Never mind. Now we did.
Yeah, now we did. So Ice Pad is looking like the play as soon as they find the flippers.
Yeah, I would say so. Simply because we found both small keys and now the big key. If you're trying to read the logic, that does definitely seems like something that would be good to do. And there's the tempered sword.
Yeah, that's a nice sword to get.
This is a nice and easy seed. What? The vulture running interference there.
So nothing of value in the Meyer shed, but can still go into its desert to check a few more items.
Still has checkerboard cave as well. I believe it was ether, so more vanilla goodness. So unless he opts to steal a small key, which I kind of doubt he will, because this is a required dungeon, but that leaves the one item location here, and he can peek at what's on the torch. Can't get it.
Oh, wow.
He wishes he could, but no. You need a different kind of footwear to get that footwear.
For sure. So the boots will definitely be required this game.
Ooh, the bottle. That's interesting. I wonder... That could be important.
So this is definitely an interesting seed. It's been quite generous so far. And we see that Ice is an crystal as well, so Ice looking even better play.
Yep, flipper's definitely required then. Opting not to check the old man. I don't think he's done that, so... Worried about his friend, sick kid. Incurable disease except if you show him a bottle. Well, that's good. Or it would be good if we knew, if we didn't know what Eastern Palace was.
Yeah, so it looks like KillerApp is going back to Death Mountain. Has a lot of items to check in the Dark World as well.
Yep, he can check, I believe, 6 locations. He has a fairy, so if he wanted to, he could do Spike Cave, though that's not in logic quite yet. And he'll be able to learn what the Turtle Rock Medallion is. And I don't remember what was on the floating ledge. I believe it was just a bomb upgrade, but yeah, if he wanted to, he could grab that as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything important.
Still caught playing very well, following the new locations that opened up from his last progression, looking for that next bit of progression.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good seed to just follow the breadcrumbs.
Nothing in that Super Bunny Cave, but we still got 4 in the Hookshot Cave. Sometimes that's the real hype cave, but gonna be hard to take that title away from the actual hype cave of the seed.
Yeah, that is gonna be pretty hard indeed. So Bombos for Turtle Rock.
Ooh-hoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Well. That was pretty good.
That was pretty hype too.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I guess I'm going to Turtle Rock now. And that's, it's not a bad idea. You got the medallion, you got your fire rod, you got your cane to Samaria, you're right here.
Yeah, is it 2 keys they have for Turtle Rock? I believe.
We will find out very shortly. I believe it's 2. They have the big key as well. Won't be able to complete it. But there's a lot of stuff that Trinex can't protect from his little cave there. Lots of item locations.
Yeah, you could go all the way to Laser Bridge. And also check Mimic Cave.
Nope, where are you going?
Decides to just open it up, and I guess he's going for Spike Cave.
That is interesting. In the meantime, Lunchtime did take down Blind. Tied up on crystals again. Alright, well this is not in logic. I'm pretty sure you need an invincibility item for this.
Yeah, you need either the blue cane or the cape.
Still gotta check while you're here, but I'm surprised you wouldn't dip into Turtle Rock, at least.
Maybe if they had fewer keys, they would be inclined to go into Turtle Rock, because they only need the Ice Rod and 1 more key to be able to full clear it.
That might be the case. Because you do want to avoid double dipping dungeons as much as possible, but sometimes that's the actual play. So you got to be careful, being too afraid to do that.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to play that that balance game of when to double dip and when to not.
Absolutely. Lunchtime doing all of this this questing here, I guess you would call it. Frog and box delivery.
Yeah, just some side quests to make your day a little bit easier.
I will be interested to see what he does right after this. It is good he's doing this because this is going to get him on the same sword level as KillerApp. And Tempered Sword is a really fantastic upgrade.
So it looks like KillerApp is going to the pyramid and probably gonna do the escape at the same time.
That would be very well routed if he does that. Could
Yeah,
also go up to Catfish, and then
Yeah.
Zora.
And Lunchtime is checking Agony. I'm not sure if KillerApp did that.
He did not, because he doesn't have a shield. I don't think he'll be missing the shield that much, though.
No, the shield didn't do too much, especially when you have the red mail.
Yeah, the red shield's okay. I give that one a pass, but every other shield's pretty useless. Oh, KillerApp, something else he could do while he's here is go to the place he's got the key for.
Yeah, with that lamp, you can check both of the items in Agatha.
He'll be able to check the sewer chest as well, without any nonsense.
Yeah, and with the mirror, no need for death warps, which is good because they do have the red mail. Death warps aren't as easy to do when you have the red mail.
Yeah, it's not as easy when every enemy's doing a quarter of a heart of damage to you. Maybe if there's some spikes around, but other than that, it's not the easiest thing. Just some bombs. He's opting to walk back this way, and then he realizes he has the mirror.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because you can't actually walk back there because the door is closed forever when you go back into the sewers.
Spooky. That is spooky. But you know, sometimes you're checking locations. Your mind starts to wonder, what's my next move? You forget what you're doing. Just go on autopilot. Okay, lunchtime. What's your move? Are you gonna go to Turtle Rock?
Yeah, it looks like Lunchtime is at least gonna open it as well.
Yeah, I would not hate him going in here right now.
Yeah, if you're just looking for the high density of chests, Pod and Turtle Rock would definitely be the place right now.
And I don't believe we know if Turtle Rock's even required to be finished or not, so... I think we're missing one pendant still?
Yeah, we're missing one pendant, and Lunchtime is going for the play into Turtle Rock.
I love it. I love this idea. Let's see if it pays off for him. KillerApp gets his silver arrows.
Yeah, this is the first true divergence we have so far in the routing, so this could pay off big for Lunchtime if there's something required in here.
Very much so. KillerApp, meanwhile, going to Aga Tower. Just to loot it. In normal rando, of course, there are no items here, but in Keysanity, the rules are different. Just to be thus far. Ooh, the book.
Yeah, the book is interesting. Opens up 2 more locations and also found another small key to pod, so they just need a big key to be able to full clear it if they do know how to hammer jump.
Meanwhile, KillerApp did not find much of value. I mean, of course, the bee is infinitely valuable. But as far as progression goes, nothing to it. Oh, oh no! That's a scary room. It's a scary room.
Yeah, even with the red mail, those chain jumps, they hurt a lot.
They act like dogs, but don't hug them, don't pet them. They bite. Well, fortunately, that's just right here, so that's not that big of a time loss. Man, can you imagine if the boots were in here in Turtle Rock? That'd be crazy.
That would be massive.
Oh, lunchtime. It's gotta be patient, bud. Ah!
Oh, taking another death. That hurts.
He's not listening to me. Can't hug him. Well, third time is the charm. Man, if only he found that fairy bottle instead of an empty one.
So there was only money on the sore ledge. And only 10 arrows. That changed up room.
Oh, bloodiest 10 arrows ever. Oh, there's still the possibility of something deeper in here being very worthwhile. Whoa! We just getting everything today. So we're coughing up that stick of butter for KillerApp to kill enemies with. Not that important because tempered and buttered is not that big of an upgrade.
Yeah, it's nice to have, but it's nothing required. And lunchtime is going for the vanilla big key chest.
Interesting, interesting.
I like that play actually, because okay, now we only got a compass, but
now we hate the play.
yeah,
What was he thinking? It's crazy.
He's going into Turtle Rock, and he probably knows he's gonna have to double dip it, so he wants to check everything possible.
I agree with that. Okay, and here's KillerApp coming back for his dip. I mean, which is good. This book could be important.
Now when I think about it, I actually retract what I just said, because using that key now, he can't go to the laser bridge anymore.
Oh, there is a small key door, isn't there? It's okay, there's gonna be a small key to the rock in the cave. Okay.
Not a small key, but still an important key.
That is a good key.
And can still check the chest in the roller room as well.
Yep, so we'll see if KillerApp does the same thing, checking the... I believe there's another chest here as well, in this roller room up here. Big chest and this one right here. And then that's it, unless there's the key here. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if KillerApp gets the vanilla big key chest as well, or if he opts to skip it.
Yeah, I think most people will usually make the play of skipping that chest.
Yeah, if you're just trying to check the maximum number of chests possible, it does make sense to skip that one, but...
So Lunchtime did get the big key of Hera as well.
Alright, well... looks like that's where he's headed. Which is not a bad idea. There's I believe 2 chests in Mildorn.
Yeah, and I mean it's a pendant, but we know that Lunchtime is hoping for Ped, so...
Yeah, this is just part of his grand stratagem. Speaking of Ped, let's see. Since we don't know what the other pendant is, it makes it hard to guess what could be on it.
Yeah, there's a few keys that can be there, at least. The big key for Eastern and Desert could definitely be there. Except for that, yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness.
So... so
Hot
I guess
dog.
in one way you could say that the boots were in Turtle
Good.
Now, Lunchtime hasn't been in Desert yet, so don't know that the flippers are hiding on that torch.
They don't know, but you have to imagine they're probably gonna check that pretty soon. See if Meyer, they can get into Meyer. If they haven't checked Desert, then they for sure haven't checked the Meyer area. And that's a really juicy little area.
Yeah, and the boots actually make checking... no, never mind, they have the hook shot. They could get into Meyer either way.
Alright, well, KillerApp. I believe he did skip the vanilla big key chest, so... we'll see if Laser Bridge has anything interesting. It's not actually in Logic, though, is the interesting thing. So I'm gonna say there's probably not much here. Unless it's like a really convoluted item chain. This is like the best play ever. Spin in a slash and Moldorm's just down. Just Compass first trouble.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like Ice Palace and Pod are the value plays. Ice Palace is technically in Logic now, as soon as they pick up the flippers.
Pod would make a lot of sense as well.
Yeah. Everything in Pod isn't in Logic, but you don't always have to follow the logic.
Okay, well, Lunchtime can be very... No! Whoa. I think he picked the wrong location. Can be very happy when he goes in the Desert Palace. And unless there's something really good on Laser Bridge, I think that does give him a small lead. We will see. Smoky against tower. Useless.
Yeah, the small keys to Ganon's tower aren't very important. Unless, of course, the...
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, alright, well.
But yeah, that's a big find.
That's interesting. I mean, it could be completely useless, but Trinex probably should have thrown that a little bit further. So lunchtime gets the flips. It's a good item.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see lunchtime going for Ice Palace right after this check in the desert. And KillerApp is also going for the Hera play.
Yeah, probably wants to check the tablet as well, so he's going to be really happy about that. This is such a good race so far.
Yeah, and two players who definitely had the same mindset.
Yeah, they are like really neck and neck right now. Where were boots? We'll just keep looking at the screen for another 20 seconds and you'll find out. Da 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 da.
Yeah, one of the players. Oh, it's a big key on the island. I didn't see that before.
Well, that could be a very important big key as well. That could be the big key to Eastern Palace, Desert Palace, or Swamp Palace, or Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, so at least 3 of those big keys we're looking for are required.
Swamp Palace big key, of course, only required for the big chest. Not as exciting as the others. Oh ho ho. It's a small key to Dark Palace. Looking better all the time. Lunchtime has other plans. Heading to the Zora area. This is smart as well. You can check the waterfall.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also gonna pick up that powder sword.
This is pure killer app. Where is he going? I think he's going to get this big key on the lake.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm not sure if KillerApp knows it, but it definitely seems like it.
Yeah, I believe he did check this at some point. Okay.
Big key for Ganon's tower, so no guessing game today then.
I mean, the game is always being played. It just ended.
If you
I
guessed,
wasn't counting.
if you guessed Lake Hylia Island today, I guess you win.
Okay, checking King's Tomb. This is also smart. Now, Smoky's Skullwood's not useful at all. But this Ice Palace plate does make a lot of sense, as we said, finding both the small keys and the big key. Definitely hints that the logic, at least, is hinting for you to go here.
Yeah, for sure. The logic wants you to go here. You can route everything in as you like. So it makes sense.
Yeah, there's actually a decent number of chests here, so... I wonder if Lunchtime had the same idea.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Also going to pick up that big key before. So we are getting closer and closer to go mode. It depends a little bit on what the last pendant is, but even if we're still just 2 big keys from Eastern and Desert, and except for that, maybe nothing, but could be the small key to Swamp or the small key to Turtle Rock as well.
Yep, and if it does end up being Turtle Rock, KillerApp does have a pretty big knowledge advantage, knowing what's on that laser bridge. Already having gotten the ice rod is huge.
Yeah, Lunchtime having checked so much in Turtle Rock already might not go back there until they know they can clear it. And as the ice palace, no, the ice rod is on Laser Bridge, yeah, that could hurt him.
That said, I'm gonna say Turtle Rock is the other pendant. Call it a hunch. As in an actual hunch, not me saying like I know and I think it's a hunch, but no, like an actual hunch.
It did have value, so isn't it like required with that pendant Turtle Rock always has value?
Yeah, and we haven't found any invincibility items yet, so just makes me think that maybe we won't find one. Ether, very nice. That's Meyer access now. So we could get in an interesting situation where all these mysterious dungeons, they can be completed, and we don't actually know if they're pendants or not, and the runners might just have to pick one and go for it.
Yeah, that could definitely happen, and especially with Pod, wouldn't surprise me if they're going there after Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think that would make a ton of sense. There's so many chests in Pod, you have so many keys, you have the big key, got the bow, got the lamp, got the hammer. Really hard to justify not going there, in my opinion.
So nothing really of value in Ice Palace so far, if unless Coaster has something.
We shall soon find out. I imagine KillerApp will have no trouble with this fight, given how decked out he is. Ether, of course, though, could be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That does give them access to everything in Mr. Meyer. So that's the third crystal for KillerApp, and Lunchtime is gonna tie it up pretty soon again.
So Ether was in the big chest, was it not? I don't think lunchtime has the ice pass picking. That could be really, really bad.
Oh, I didn't realize that luncheon didn't pick that up. Where was the big key for Ice Palace then?
Oh no! You know where it was? It was in the grove, south of the Stumpy. He flew. He opted to flute the box.
Oh yeah, right.
So for his sake, I hope that Meyer, you know, has nothing. But at the same time, I don't want KillerApp to come in here for nothing too. So. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's this could either hurt lunchtime or save him some big amount of time.
Well, it's gonna hurt either way, because either KillerApp finds something amazing here, and lunchtime's just gonna miss out on it, or there's nothing here and KillerApp wasted too much time. Well, I do understand why KillerApp came here before going to Pod as well, just because this is the green pendant. He can clear this and then turn that in on his way into Pod. Looks like lunchtime's heading up here to Agate Tower, gonna be real disappointed.
Yeah, only gonna get a bee in a bottle for this time.
Oh, Swamp Palace map. So that is one of the unknowns. Could be very valuable information.
Yeah, that could give us the information we need. Oh, and it's a small key in the big chest in the Meyer. Portrait Rock, so there's still another small key somewhere.
Though if Trigger Rock ends up being required, that will give him access to the Trenex fight. Since the chest in the middle is actually completely useless. Hopefully for lunchtime's sake, Trigger Rock is not required.
And lunchtime is going to check the powder. Something that we picked up before Turtle Rock that no one really checked so far.
I'm always a fan of that, so we'll see if he has anything nice today. B in the bottom. Alright, KillerApp be coming up on Beatrice very shortly.
Yeah, and with silver arrows, this fight is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be very one-sided. Lunchtime's just going. He's going for pod. I don't know what else he could do aside from checking these one-off locations that he skipped.
Yeah, and I like this this check of pod as well. It's 14 locations to check.
14 locations. Alright, well. Assuming the screen pinet's nothing and Turtle Rock's not required, I don't think Meyer had anything of value.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
It's always real exciting when you get these unknowns. Keeps things real tense.
And lunchtime is deciding to open the middle door. Probably gonna do the hammer jump then.
Yeah, most likely. If you come in here and you know you can't do the hammer up, you go the bow side, I feel. But if you can, you just go through the front door, because why not?
So Sahasrullah, what are you holding for us today?
Big 20.
Oh, a big key for desert. That's definitely something we need.
That is definitely something we need.
Oh, and I just realized, for some reason I didn't realize it until now, but if Turtle Rock is required, lunchtime will need all 4 keys, because it did open that middle vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, if Turtle Rock's required, lunchtime is in some trouble. For a variety of reasons. That being one of them.
So KillerApp is going to the bow side section right away, because didn't pick up that small key to pod from the hobo. Oh, and the last key to pod is in pod.
In the last place you'd expect it. Well, he probably won't bother to hammer jump now. And the Desert Palace small key.
Yeah, so I guess lunchtime will for sure go to desert after this.
There's no
Both
reason
the
not
big key
to.
and the small key.
We don't know if this is required or not, but I feel like you clear this anyway. While you're here.
Yeah, that makes sense. And ooh, the small key to Turtle Rock, okay.
Doesn't really help him, but that's really good that he found it. Simply because the hoops he has to jump through to get the other one, not looking really good right now. Because you'll have to go back to the Dark World, you have to go to the Grove, get the key there, go back to Ice Palace, go all the way back to the big chest, get Ether, go to Mire, enter Mire, go to the big chest in Mire, grab it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. And if it turns out that that the truck is dependent, this is going to be a really close race.
Of course, assuming PED's not required. I'm not sure what could be on PED at this point to make it required. I guess Eastern Big Key is still missing.
Yeah, Eastern Big Key and the Swamp Small Key if Swamp is a crystal.
So lunchtime will not be getting any of his wishes, but that might actually end up working out for him. I guess the other thing would be if Trinex doesn't have either one of those. But until we see an invincibility item, we don't really have to worry about that. Because that's not going to be in the logic until that happens. Meaning Trinex is not in the logic as well.
So Helmasaur goes down quickly, and it's going to be really interesting to see what he drops.
Big 20.
Big 20, and a pendant.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, this gives a huge advantage to a KillerApp.
Oh man. I mean, it's not like it's impossible for lunchtime to hit all those things he missed, but oh boy. It's gonna be tough. He's probably gonna come in here, clear out desert. And then there's just not a lot of stuff that he can actually check, so maybe.
Yeah, so it's interesting that Pedestal is actually now in Logic as well. Because they have all the small keys to pod, they have everything they need for in the Logic to defeat the other pendant as well.
It's Quake. Nothing useful. Okay, there is one other thing. No. We have to find Cape or Brian, because the other shield is on Bumper Cave, which needs the Cape. So we're gonna find an invincibility item soon, I would assume. And I guess the invincibility item could be no, it couldn't. I was gonna say it could be on Pet, but I don't think that works. Or does it? Yeah, I guess it could. If Trinex has the big key to Eastern, then it definitely could.
Yeah, so the question now is, where is that big key for Eastern, the small key for Swamp, and how long will it take for lunchtime to go back into Ice Palace? I wouldn't blame lunchtime if that's one of the last things that you do.
Well, I could see some kind of configuration of moves where he goes to Dark World, he checks the Grove Cave, and then he checks Bombos. I don't think he's checked Bombos yet. And then if those fail, he could go into check the first chest in Swamp. So I could see that sort of float into his mind. But he's got it rough right now.
Yeah, and KillerApp is going straight back up to Death Mountain to defeat Turtle Rock. Has all the 4 keys and everything else needed to finish it.
Did KillerApp not get the Desert Big Key? That was in Pod, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in Pod, so
That could...
he
Whoa.
should have got it.
Did he?
Maybe he skipped it.
He did not. Huh? Really?
Which chest was Desert Palace?
I want to
It
say
was
it
the
was
vanilla big key chest.
Wow, if he did skip that, that is huge. That could be the thing that gives Lunchtime a chance to get back there. Oh my god, he's going straight. He's going straight for it. If Lunchtime gets this big key and goes straight back to Ice Palace, he is looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, the tables might have been turned now.
But he has to go there, like, right now. Okay, he's probably coming down here, gonna check Bombos. Get that out of the way. But what will you do after that? Oh my god. This was just looking really bad for Lunchtime, and then KillerApp forgot something. And now it's crazy.
Yeah, who goes back for that one location they skipped? That's the question.
I didn't even realize it.
Oh,
That's the
a
Swamp
small
Palace.
key.
He's
So
gonna go
probably
right in.
full clear swamp before anything else.
Okay, well that could be good or bad.
He's gonna get a crystal and might actually get the big key for Eastern as well.
He might, yes. And if he finds nothing here, he might think to go straight back to Ice Palace from here. That is so lucky to find that key right there. Because he probably wanted to go into the swamp anyway, just to check the first chest. But now he can just clear this out. And that narrows things down so much.
So the thing that Lunchtime needs to get in Meyer is the 4th key to Turtle Rock, because Lunchtime did open the vanilla big key chest.
This Ice Rod is on Laser Bridge. God, this is so crazy. I can't predict what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is... I have no idea how this is gonna play out.
Like in Lunchtime's case, he could not check the big chest. He did not have the key for it. But in KillerApp's case, he could have checked that chest, but he did not. So he might have forgotten about it entirely.
He might have skipped doing the bomb jump, and in which case he wouldn't have enough keys.
That is possible as well, yes. Okay, and I believe Trinex drop nothing. So KillerApp's gonna come over to Hera. He might just go pull Ped at that point. To be honest.
Ped is in logic, and there's still one thing that could be on Ped. Big key for Eastern.
Which would be interesting in its own right.
Yeah, and in KillerApp's mind, it might be the Desert Palace big key as well. So the small key for Swamp was on Bomba's tablet.
It's in a very, very convenient location. And I imagine KillerApp probably not have trouble finding that key. But go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. So the book actually had two required items.
Yeah, it did.
Boots were on the Ether.
So the Turtle Rock Double Dip was absolutely required as far as logic is concerned. We still haven't found the Mitzvah item yet. Might be up here in Swamp. Nope.
Left side of Swamp having two maps.
Two completely useless maps. We already cleared those dungeons. We know what they are. We could have wrote those maps for all we know. Now, okay, he's checking if he has the big key to Swamp. He does not. It's always good to just check that. Even if you think you know, pause in the game takes less than a second.
Yeah, and going back for that big chest certainly takes more than a second.
Certainly does.
KillerApp is flew into free.
Got that
not
powder.
going to check Ped quite yet. Oh, and a big key for Eastern in Swamp.
So that is that is good and
Yeah, it does make the possibility of lunchtime going into ice right away much less likely.
yeah, but at the same time, that will let him check Pyramid Fairy, which we know probably is completely worthless for sure. They could have no half magics in the library. So, but that might just narrow things down enough to where he says, okay, Ice Palace, big chest.
So KillerApp is making the play for Ped. We know it can't be anything required anymore.
It could be. It could still be an invincibility item.
Yeah, okay, but they won't need it.
They won't need it, but it could be.
Doing the blind pull, and it does get the invincibility item.
Who programmed this monster?
Okay, so Ped technically required then, I guess.
Technically required by logic. Alright, lunchtime. Do an Eastern first. This is fine. This is the thing he wants to do first.
Yeah, that's at least progression. And KillerApp is checking the Flipper's lock locations. It's gonna find that small key to pod.
Yep, that might send him back there, but I feel like KillerApp is the caliber player that would actually know that hammer jump. So I don't.
Yeah, and even if he didn't, because then there was a vanilla key in pod, so
Yeah.
he should have had enough keys. So he might have just forgot the location.
But who knows? We'll see what he does right after getting this key. If this puts like, wait a minute, in his mind or not. Okay, back to 3. What did he miss here? He did not check the bumper cave. So I imagine that's what he's doing now. Probably check the graveyard while he's here. Man, I'm getting chills. I'm so excited. This race is crazy.
Yeah, I'm almost having a stomach ache because I don't know who's gonna go back for that item.
Lunchtime. I know you can't hear me, but check Pyramid Fairy. I know you're gonna check Pyramid Fairy, but go to Ice Plus right after, and you'll be really happy. Otherwise, it's gonna be sad times all around. And even if he doesn't do that for a little bit, he does have a little time, just because KillerApp is gonna have to still find that key that he's missing.
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. As soon as lunchtime gets that item, there's only Trinex left to do, but there's a few things you have to do to get that key.
That is quite a little chain of events you have to do for that key. But he might just have to do that anyway because of just running out of locations.
So KillerApp might go check the Bombas tablet now and go finish Swamp and then Eastern.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the path he's been set on now. Hopefully he checks the Bombos tablet first, otherwise he's gonna be a little angry.
So, Pyramid Fairy, what do you have for us today?
Nothing and nothing. Nothing and nothing.
So, small key to Hyrule Castle, that does mean that the logic wanted you to check the Pyramid Fairy before checking Zelda's chest.
Well, this logic assumes a lot of dumb things. Let's be fair. I think I'm gonna go pull pedestal to check the laser bridge. Crazy. Okay, well. One thing to mention in KillerApp's favor, since he will be getting the Eastern Big Key here in Swamp, he might flute to 5, go to the Dark World, and then mirror there. And while he's in the area, he might peek in pod and check the item count if he has the compass. Or he might just walk up and check, see if he forgot something, which would be huge for him.
Yeah, and definitely it's likely. And it's also worth mentioning that even though Lunchtime is missing that small key, it also has to make that play that Ice Rod is in top rock.
Looks like he's going to be checking the Graveyard Ledge. He did already check Kingstone. This will be nice and quick. Where will he go after this? This is pretty much the deciding moment.
Yeah, and I don't think he has too many things left to check.
Oh, and he's definitely aware about that big chest and pod. There's no way he's not. But I don't blame him for wanting to check things that aren't that, just to be sure, before you go back in there. He's got his flute out. Flute state is good.
Oh, and
He did it.
he does make the play.
Ooh,
This
baby.
is a good play for Lunchtime.
Still no telling what's going to happen. KillerApp has another good play that he could make that would get him right back in the lead.
Yeah, because Lunchtime is going to finish everything in Mire before even thinking about going to top rock, I think. Because still missing the Ice Rod as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ice Rod is in a really tricky location that he could definitely just clear Mire looking for that.
So KillerApp is about to pick up big key for Eastern.
I believe he skipped the left side, didn't he?
Yeah, it seems like it. But I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go back in after finishing off Argus to check the left side.
Yeah. I mean, if you find all your items on the way to Argus, there's no point checking left side, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. Especially if you're only looking for 1 or 2 items at that point. Like, if you're still looking for a lot of items, the skip becomes a lot more questionable. But in this scenario... Okay, there it is.
Yeah, so this seed has been quite generous. It's just that the players, in one way, sort of kind of have trolled themselves.
Yeah, in KillerApp's case, that's definitely true. Lunchtime, his routing just having to work out that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely... I wouldn't blame Lunchtime for going into ice. That's you usually go into ice without the big key.
Okay, KillerApp is in the Dark World. He's making his way up here, so I feel like he's definitely going to peek his head into pod. He skipped left side, though. That's really weird. That is super weird.
Yeah, it's risky for sure, but it's gonna pay off for KillerApp.
It's weird to skip that, but come back. I mean, I guess he knows at this point. He probably knows the chest in the pod, but if this isn't the thing he's looking for, he's gonna be making a long trip back. I mean, this is the randomizer. You make gambles sometimes. They don't always make sense. Gotta listen to your gut.
Yeah, and sometimes if you feel behind for you might do some plays that seems weird just to be able to catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely true as well. Okay, well, I believe he just got the key he was looking for. Lunchtime. Still can't leave these chests behind, though.
Yeah, he got the only thing of value, but that's nothing that Lunchtime has. He doesn't have that information. And KillerApp is going to pick up the small gift to Hera in Eastern. That could be something that eats away at KillerApp as well.
That could definitely. Though, considering he's already got his portal here, I feel like he's still going to check putt either way. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, and as soon as KillerApp gets that big key for Desert, it's a really quick fight to just float out to 6 and defeat Lamolas.
It does not take any time at all. Alright, well, while we have a little downtime, if you guys are enjoying what you are seeing, definitely give both these guys a follow. This has been a crazy, exciting race. They definitely deserve your love and support. And thank you again to our tracker Number Play and our race streamer Dawning Arc. You would not be watching this without their help, so thank you to them.
Yeah, a big shout out to all the trackers and the restreamers making this tournament possible.
My heart is beating faster the closer we get to Armos. Just wondering if he's going to go into pod or not.
Yeah, they both have one thing missing, but KillerApp has a shorter way to Gannis Tower as soon as they get it.
He did bring the portal, so overwhelmingly
So,
likely.
yeah, it kind of feels like that's the play.
Yeah, here we go.
So with this pickup of the big key to desert, KillerApp will officially be in go mode.
He didn't even bother to make sure that wasn't what he got it because he remembered, I guess. And this will be his go mode. Yeah, he's bombing himself. Yeah, he's like, wow, I can't believe I forgot this. Okay. Well, fortunately, Supersonic, impervious to bombs, he did not just throw the race there. Barely did a heart of damage.
Yeah, so the question is, will lunchtime go straight up to Turtle Rock after this?
I feel like he's gonna turn into Green Pin at least. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then he goes to Turtle Rock. So this is definitely feeling like KillerApp's race to lose right now.
Yeah, for sure. KillerApp is soon gonna be entering Gannon's Tower.
Yeah, he's already completed Turtle Rock. And with how decked out they are, silver arrows, gold sword, red mail, 16 hearts. Can't imagine they have much trouble in Ganon's Tower or with Ganon.
Yeah, that seems highly unlikely. I think that there's a bigger risk of taking a fall on Ganon than dying.
Yeah. About the only way lunchtime would be able to like catch up at this point is if KillerApp despawned GT as he was climbing it. That's about it.
Yeah. So KillerApp did get his wish of going fast to boots, and lunchtime is going for his wish of pulling the pedestal.
Yeah. Hard to blame lunchtime for being thorough before they go back into Turtle Rock. Because Ice Rod and Turtle Rock's pretty trolly. He's gonna get his cape though, and he's probably thinking, okay. It's on Laser Bridge, isn't it? That cape probably just put it in his head. Yeah, as Korik says in chat, the chests on Laser Bridge were not in logic until just now. So it's no fault of lunchtime, because that is the accurate logic read.
Yeah, and at this point the blue cane is most likely in Ganon's Tower, so that pedestal would have been required.
Yeah, and let's think back to what actually the decision that actually kind of put him in the situation. It was when he floated with the purple chest instead of dragging it down through Dark World to check the ledge cave on his way. Ironically, he tried to do that to save time, and it ended up costing him a lot of time.
Yeah, because he had already done Stumpy as well, so the only thing to check on the way with the purple chest was that cave.
Alright, we have KillerApp heading into GT. Gonna be a short GT. As it always is when you don't have to check anything.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to do in Keysanity, just skipping the basement and going straight up to Aghanim.
Vulgultarin in chat makes a very good point. Checking the center chest in Turtle Rock was also really what started it, because it did not leave him with enough keys to get Trinex without doing all that. Because that entire sequence was not required, as far as I remember.
Yeah, it was only compass in the vanilla big chest, and even though you need 4 keys for the logic to defeat Trinex, you can still get to him with only 3. KillerApp moving into the gauntlet, and the Butter Sword is just going to one-shot everything. Same with the Silver Arrows.
Yeah, if I were to advise the gauntlet enemies, it would be just to surrender. You're not going to take this guy. He will slaughter you. Sadly, they're not much for diplomacy, so.
Yeah, and already moving into Lamulus too. No time to waste anymore.
Gotta go fast, man.
And having left that big key for desert in pod for some time, wouldn't blame KillerApp for feeling behind.
Yeah, he definitely felt like that was a mistake, as evidenced by him bombing himself. He probably thinks that my opponent's probably going to dot down any second now, as he's climbing GTA.
So lunchtime about to get to Laser Bridge and pick up the Ice Rod, finally being in go mode.
Yeah, he's not, you know, I'm kind of understanding it right now, but he's not gonna be happy when he checks these chests. He's gonna be like anything but happy. Here we go. Ooh. He doesn't show it, but I can feel the rage through the monitor.
Yeah, it probably feels like it doesn't have the time to do any rage bombs at this point.
Yeah, he probably knew it was there. I don't think there was any question that he didn't know it was there, but when you lay your eyes on it, it's emotions take over. But lunchtime suppressing that. Here is Agatu.
Oh, that's a good triple.
And there you go.
Yeah, that guy is down.
Very well done. That just leaves Mr. Ganon. It's bedtime. Gotta go to bed, Ganon. KillerApp is here to tuck you in. And as KillerApp enters the Ganon fight, lunchtime enters GT.
Yeah, after all, lunchtime won't be finishing too far behind KillerApp.
Yep. The killer app did make a goof of his own that cost him some time. But hey. Still a really, really exciting race.
Yeah, and even after everything, they're still gonna have good times as well.
For Keysanity especially, this is right there. Did we find the arrows in Hyrule Castle?
Oh yes, Canon, we did. And we know that it's in logic now that we've checked Fat Fairy.
These are the most logical arrows ever, as they pierce your face. Oh no!
No, he takes a fall!
I mean, it's not. Oh no! I
He only
couldn't.
had one more arrow to... Oh.
Ooh. Okay. If he falls a few more times, this might be a race again. Intentional? No, I don't think so. I think that was very unintentional.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing that was intentional, but...
I mean, you notice how he bonked right off the door? That's a panic bonk right there.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning that this is a tournament race, and at the end of the game, when you don't see a dot done from your opponent, nerves start to kick in as well.
Yeah, definitely. And a 2-0 isn't a record you're gonna lose by goofing around like that. I think KillerApp bombing himself was about as much goofs as he allotted in his schedule for this race. Meanwhile, Lunch making good time through GT. Making really good time, actually.
Yeah, but it might not be enough. KillerApp also has a potion, so won't have to worry about the magic, and the fourth arrow pierces Ganon, and Ganon is down.
Yep, good night, Ganon. We turned off the lights for you, like you like.
Yeah, so spam your GGs in chat for KillerApp. He has finished first in this race with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 34 seconds. GGs.
Yeah, GG to him. It was an amazing race. We'll try and get him in here for a chat. See if he's got some thoughts to share. I got some questions for him. There he is. Welcome to
Hey.
KillerApp.
Hey guys.
Congrats on your win.
I guess I'll take it. I played pretty bad.
Yeah, so, before I ask you, the question that I'm going to ask you, that you know I'm going to ask you, how did you feel about that seat overall?
Honestly, I probably could have beat that so much earlier if I realized I didn't have all 6 keys. Because I thought that vanilla one gave me 6 for pod. And as soon as I unlocked that door, I thought, oh my god.
So, that chest and pod, yeah, that was, we were wondering, if you're back there, what was the point where you actually realized, oh, I forgot something in pod? Was that just when you got the key from the Hoa?
Well, I wasn't going to put it off until I did get that 6th key. Because I was so frustrated that I was certainly gonna be trolled by that, but just nothing really worked out. And ended up finding a swamp key last possible place too.
Yeah.
After pulling pedestal.
It was actually a really convenient spot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right next door. Lunchtime doing swag and them strats.
So did he skip that chest too?
He did not.
Okay.
What really did him in was, he spent his Turtle Rock key on the middle chest. I think the vanilla big key
Okay.
chest.
Yeah.
And
I'm
what
trying
that
to think
did
where the
was-
keys were.
Yeah, so he's spent one key on the vanilla big key chest and
Mhm.
didn't have the big key when he went into ice, so he didn't get the even medallion for Meyer.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's double whammy, I guess.
So he ended up having to find both the small keys to the rock, one of which was actually, not really required, since the middle chest was useless. But that is what ended up costing him a lot of time.
Yeah, I know I found one of the keys on Meyer.
Yeah. And since he skipped the Ice Palace big key, where Ether was,
Yeah.
it was just a big sad all around. But he's on Ganon now.
Yeah, I figured he wasn't too... Well, wouldn't be too far off. I mean, I full cleared except for... I think I got the Hera small key and the... like another small key. But,
Yeah. Finding that ice rod on Laser Bridge was huge for you.
oh, yeah, if he didn't have the key, that'd be awful. You probably searched everywhere else for it.
Because you have to consider is the first invincibility item was on pedestal. So if that
Yeah,
stuff wasn't on the
that's-
logic, he probably wasn't even thinking about that.
Well, yeah. I really didn't think about that, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, there we go. He's finished Ganon. Silver arrows is all it takes.
Yeah, lunchtime has finished as well. An official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 8 seconds. So definitely spam your GGs for him as well. It's interesting because both of you did a lot of the same routing early on, and basically all the way until you went into Meyer and lunchtime went into Swamp instead.
Oh.
No, he went into Pod instead, I think.
See if we can get him in here as well. That was such an exciting race right there in the middle before we knew if you were going to go back to Pod or if lunchtime would find the Ice Palace Big King to go do all that stuff. It was really, really tense. It's just really good. Unfortunately, lunchtime does not have a mic, so they can't join us, which is a shame. Because I want to shower him with praises for that great race, but I won't get to do so. Did you have any questions, Walther?
I think you kind of did the big ones. The ped was definitely interesting. Both of you blind pulled the ped.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah,
vanilla Titansmiths in Feast Town was
yeah. Be
kind of
interesting.
hilarious. But you're moving on to 3-0 now. So how do you feel about that?
Okay, I guess. Still gotta face better competition probably next round. And it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I think both of you really showed that you're good at your execution, and it was only the thing that put you behind was just some small mistakes, and we all make them sometimes.
3-0, hopefully the pressure doesn't get to you. I know it stacks on with every win.
Well, I mean, if it was like just like a standard mode, maybe. But Keysanity, it just, you know, you're gonna be searching a lot, and it's like you don't have to worry if you're
Yeah, I guess there's a lot less of like feeling bad as you go through.
yeah, because you're more likely to get stuff along the way. Maybe not early on, but stuff to help out as far as completing the seed, execution wise.
You guys got a lot of it, didn't you? Really early red
Yeah.
mail, really early tempered sword.
Yeah, that really helped with the Mafia fight, even though I took him down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and how about that hype cave? Fire rod,
Yeah.
sword, and a bow.
Yeah, not just keys, 1 or 2 keys, pretty good items.
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to say, KillerApp?
Nope, just thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to commentary, trackers. Everybody puts the tournaments and restreams together. They do a really awesome job. We just get to have fun. Or torture ourselves, whatever you think. Whatever you think of it.
Ain't that the truth? Well, I think that'll about do us. Let's see. Let's check the schedule before we sign off. Let's give a check to the schedule. All right. Well, at 2 p.m., which was 13 minutes ago, the race started for Nikki Noel and Phylon and Speed Gaming. Sarkis Sabasa and Felix TC commentating that. Go check that out. We're done here. Check that out. Before we go, thank you again. Give both of our runners a follow. Lunchtime, KillerApp, amazing race. Our tracker, Number Play, our restreamer, Donning Arc, and of course, my co-commentator, Walter IB. This was a ton of fun. I'm glad you're here with me.
Yeah, and big thank you to you as well, Malay. It was a great time commentating this with you.
I'm really glad to hear that. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you on the next one then. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.